students, today we talk about the structure of nucleus or the cytological details of the nucleus. In most of the living cells, the nucleus are, or almost every living cells, the nucleus is present. This nucleus is the center of metabolism. That means in the nucleus various reactions like catabolism or anabolism, the formation and breakdown of the molecules takes place in the nucleus. Regarding the numbers of nucleus, generally cells having single nucleus रहता है cells के अंदर, but in certain times in the cells many nucleus are present. Mostly the nucleus it is circular in shape, but sometimes it may be kidney shape, lobed or horseshoe shape. The position of nucleus, it is mostly present at the center of the cells, but exceptionally it may be displaced from the center. Look this figure. In this is figure of the nucleus. This nucleus, there is the outer layer. It is made by the two layers, that is outer layer and inner layer. This outer covering is known as the nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope. This nuclear membrane or envelope is interrupted by pores. This is pore. This pore is known as nuclear pore. On this inside, there the semi-fluid-like structure is present, that known as the nucleoplasm, and this is thread-like material is present at the center. There is the nuclear genetic material or genetic reticulum. At the center or at the one side, there is the nucleolus is present. So let's see the structure of nucleus. Mostly the nucleus are the two types according to the cell type, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. The prokaryotic nucleus, it is the primitive nucleus, but where it is well defined. The nucleus in prokaryotic cells, nucleus mostly made up by the genetic material, and it is not covered by the nuclear membrane. In eukaryotic cells, the nucleus is the advanced type. This two nucleus is present. Mostly it is in the spherical shape, and this nucleus in eukaryotic cells made up by the nuclear envelope, nuclear pores, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, genetic material and chromatin, जो हमने लास्ट फिगर में देखा. So this is the eukaryotic type of nucleus. Let's start one by one parts of the nucleus in the eukaryotic type cells. The first is the nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope, it is the outermost covering layer. It is not continuously formed. The nuclear envelope is made by the two layers, that is outer layer and inner layer. The main functions of this nuclear envelope is the protection, and again it gives the shape to the nucleus. Then second part is the nuclear pore. The nuclear membrane is not continuous, it's interrupted by pore, that is nothing but the nuclear pore. The number of nuclear pores is not definite, it is varied. Then function of nuclear pore is the exchange or transfer of material between cytoplasm to nucleoplasm and nucleoplasm to cytoplasm. Then a third main part in the nucleus, it is the nucleoplasm. nucleoplasm, it is the semi-solid fluid. It limits the nuclear membrane. The function of nucleoplasm is of holding the genetic material and nucleolus. So this is the main point of nucleoplasm. Then main part is the nucleolus. The nucleolus is small spherical structure. Mostly it is densely structured and it present at one side of nucleus or sometimes it present at the center. This nucleolus is a center of RNA system. जो भी RNA synthesis और RNA processing है, these are happens in this nucleolus. Then another important part in the nucleus, that is genetic material. This genetic material forms a network that is known as the genetic reticulum network. Mostly it is made up by the DNA, and at the time of division, at the time of cell division, this network or reticulum is converted into the ribbon rod cell structure, जो हमने माइटोसिस और मियोसिस में देखा है. Structure will be changed at the time of division. Then the functions of the genetic material is the control of metabolism and inheritance, that is transmission from one generation to another, one generation to next. Metabolism means the जो भी सेल्स के अंदर रिएक्शन होती है, that means catabolism or anabolism, the formation of molecules or breakdown of the molecules, that type of reaction are controlled by this genetic material. And the inheritance means there is the transmission of genetic material from parents to the daughter cells. So all these जो भी जेनेटिक मटेरियल कंट्रोल करने का काम है डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल्स करते हैं. सो द मेन फंक्शन इज द कंट्रोल ऑफ मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड इनहेरिटेंस. देन थर्ड पॉइंट इज द फंक्शंस ऑफ न्यूक्लियस. द मेन फंक्शन दैट इज इट इज द मेटाबॉलिक सेंटर है. अभी मैंने जो भी केमिकल्स रिएक्शन है और जो भी रिएक्शन है दैट आर टेक्स प्लेस इन दिस न्यूक्लियस. देन इनहेरिटेंस, जो भी ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ जेनेटिक मटेरियल है दैट्स विल हैपन्स इन इज आल्सो इन द इनहेरिटेंस. देन म्यूटेशन एट सम टाइम्स ऑफ in the cell division, and there is the crossing over is happens. Then after crossing over, some genetic material are transferred and some cells are abnormal, that in this way abnormalities form or mutations are formed. So these are also happens in the nucleus or DNA. Then this is the source of variation. Again due to the process of crossing over or the some different reactions, the variations are observed due to this nucleus. Then synthesis of RNA. The synthesis of RNA are also happens in this nucleolus. So this is another important function of the nucleus. So this is all about the structure of nucleus. Lastly, we summarized it. If the question asks only in the nucleus, then you have to return all the points, that means all the parts in shortly. But if asked with regarding the particular one topic, Like that, give the detailed account of nucleus and any one of the part, that means nuclear membrane or nucleoplasm. At that time first you have to write down shortly in all points, and then explain the, if asked for nucleoplasm, then you have to write the nucleoplasm का डिटेल्स. यदि आपको न्यूक्लियस और साथ में वहाँ पे कोई भी एक पॉइंट्स का दिया, यदि एक पॉइंट पे क्वेश्चन आता है तो दैट टाइम आपको ये पूरा यहाँ पे पहला जो न्यूक्लियस का न्यूक्लियस का नोट्स पूरा देना पड़ेगा, और साथ में आपको जो भी पार्ट्स पूछा जाएगा, लाइक मीन्स न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन के बारे में पूछ सकते हैं, न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म के पूछ सकते हैं, न्यूक्लियोलस पे पूछ सकते हैं, तो वहाँ पे आपको दोनों पॉइंट्स कवर करने पड़ेंगे. तो इन इंट्रोडक्शन, जो न्यूक्लियस है, एवरी सेल्स में न्यूक्लियस प्रेजेंट रहता है. मोस्टली दिस जो भी मेटाबॉलिक रिएक्शन है वो न्यूक्लियस में क्या होते हैं. जो नंबर है, नंबर एक तो सिंगल न्यूक्लियस भी रहता है, एंड समटाइम्स मिनी न्यूक्लियस भी हमें दिखाई देते हैं. जो शेप है, इट इज़ मोस्टली फाउंड इन सर्कुलर शेप, बट समटाइम्स मे बी किडनी शेप, लोब्ड और हॉर्सू शेप है हमें देखते हैं. पोजीशन, दिस nucleus is most observed at the center. Exceptionally, sometimes it is displaced from the center. According to this structure, the two types of nucleus are observed. एक तो यूकैरियोटिक, प्रोकैरियोटिक है, और यूकैरियोटिक. प्रोकैरियोटिक nucleus is the primitive type है. Nucleus is made up by the genetic material and not covered by the nuclear. But in case of eukaryotic, it is advanced nucleus है, pronucleus है, then spherical का shape, और they contains nuclear envelope, nuclear pores, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, genetic material and chromatins. Then उसके बाद हमने वन बाय वन पार्ट लिखेंगे. न्यूक्लियर एनवलप, इसका स्ट्रक्चर एंड फंक्शन. Mostly it is made by the two layers, that is outer and inner layer, and it is not continuous, but it is outermost layer. The protection is the give the shape to nucleus and protection to the underlying parts. Then second important part is the nuclear pore. Nuclear pore is interrupted, the nuclear membrane interrupted by pores, that is nuclear pore. The function of nuclear pore is the transport or exchange of cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. Then third part is the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is the semi-solid fluid structure, then limited by the nuclear membrane, and the function is function of nucleoplasm is the hold genetic material and nucleolus. Then nucleolus, again it is a small spherical structure and densely stand present one side or at the center of nucleoplasm, and its function is the RNA synthesis. Then next part हमने देखा कि genetic material है, is made up of the DNA है. At the time of division, the genetic material is converted into the ribbon rod cells. The function of genetic material is to control the metabolism and inheritance will control. Lastly हमने functions देखे. Mostly the function of nucleus, it is the metabolic center, inheritance, sometimes mutations, variations, and the synthesis of RNA are carried out by this nucleus. So this is all about the nucleus. Now we will stop.